Hi everyone, I'm Danielle. This actually is a video response to ateyaaa for the cancer awareness. I'm actually going through cancer myself. I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's cancer in 2005. I was losing weight very fast. I had all the symptoms, but I wasn't sure that's what it was. Scared to go to the doctors. My grandmother kept saying, "Baby, something's not right. You're losing weight too fast." I said, "Oh, Grandma, I'm just working." I was a workaholic. I was scared. I had a huge lump on my neck right here. I thought maybe it would go away, with time. And one day at work, all my coworkers were like, "Danny, get to the hospital." I was very tired. I was weak. I was so thin. I couldn't swallow. I was getting dizzy spells. When I went to the doctors, I went to my PCP, and before he called me and told me that it wasn't good and that I had Hodgkin's. Well, before they even diagnosed me with Hodgkin's, they said that I had cancer. Yes, I flipped out. Me and my husband, I was so scared. At the time, my son was 8 years old at the time, and it just wasn't looking good at all. Then my doctor got me ready to go to the hospital, and as I got there, I was anemic. I had to get 2 units of blood. I had just everything. Everything was just crazy. They told my husband I had 2 weeks to live. 2 weeks, if that. It was I didn't know any of this. I didn't know, they didn't tell me anything. They told my husband a lot. I didn't know until after, everything went on. They told him to get all my things together because your wife is not going to make it. My husband passed out. He had to come in my room and put a smile on his face so I could stay positive. But I kind of knew what was going on. But I wasn't leaving. I wasn't ready to go. I fought and I fought. I had chemo after chemo. It started to work. I had to get a biopsy on my neck. I had to get one on my side. I had 12 tumors all over my body. I was so thin. I had to get all my teeth pulled because then I had to get a root canal, and if I didn't get my teeth pulled because they didn't have time to fix it, give me the root canal and all that, and they said we have to take them all because if not, you can be in a worse situation. I said, whatever, I'll buy more. So I went on and I went through that operation. I was in the hospital for 2 weeks. I was very, very weak. The chemo, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but it was bad. They put steroids in my chemo so I could be able to eat. I was working up until maybe 2007. The weeks that I had my chemo, I didn't go to work. I would take family leave those days because the chemo just drained me. I was so exhausted. I couldn't even brush my hair. I couldn't do too much of anything. I was in and out of consciousness. When they told my husband I had the 2 weeks, that was before they diagnosed me with Hodgkin's. Now Hodgkin's, they said, "Oh, she'll be fine." I was 3B, right before it entered the organs. If I would have waited maybe one more day or one more week, there was nothing they could have did for me. Just thank God things happened the way they did, that I got in there on time. My family was there, my friends were there for me, my husband, he was there the whole time, shaved his head off for me when he came in. Hair, I didn't even lose my hair at that time with that chemo. It just thinned a lot, but with the other regimens of chemo. I had so many different regimens. They gave me the most aggressive. I had experimental drugs. They had to do anything to keep me here. It was very hard. I went to relapse. I relapsed last year. I was in deep depression, and you don't understand what chemo could do to you. You can go through so many changes. The things you never thought you would do, you do. It's just very hard to go through. As I was going through my relapse, I had to go back into the hospital and every month I had to stay for 3 days to get more chemo. And during that time, my grandmother got sick. My grandmother was my heart. I was so close to my grandmother. She ended up in a hospital, and I couldn't go to the hospital until I knew she was okay. And she passed away, and it just killed me. And I couldn't go to the hospital, and I could just hear my grandma in the back of my head telling me, "You better get your butt in the hospital now." And as I was hearing that, I went to finish up the rest of my chemo. Now I'm on my way to Pittsburgh, exactly maybe 3-4 hours. I have a doctor's appointment there because that's where it all happens. I keep my doctors. I have one of the best doctors. I also had a transplant, a stem cell transplant, to help also with the progression. The last scan, the last test they found, everything looked good. So I'm doing well now. But to think about things back then, it still makes me cry. When I talk about it, it just makes me a stronger person to go through what I went through. But my husband stayed there the whole time, and I'm lucky to have that. It was just, it was just hard for me. It was very hard for me, but I dealt with it. I deal with it every day. There's times I don't want to get off the bed. There's days that I'm just so tired, and I try to work, and it's just too much because of all that chemo that I had. Affects my legs. Now I have neuropathy, but you know what? I thank God to just be here. And for anyone who's going through these problems, leave me comments on my page, or just if you want to talk, send me a video response also, because it's a lot to discuss what went on from 2005 and now. But yeah, my husband actually ran into a guardian angel that told him that your wife is not going anywhere, and nobody was even in the room. The nurse said visiting hours was over hours ago, and he said, "Well, who was the guy?" And she was like, "What guy?" So it's just miracles after miracles that I'm even here. My doctor calls me his miracle child because I'm not supposed to be here, but God says I am supposed to be here because I'm still here and I'm still fighting, and it's a very hard. You have to be a special person to deal with something like this and be able to move on and live your life. Live your life to the fullest, because you just never know. And I want to say thank you, and